Hi there, good afternoon. Thank you all for coming. My name is Dr. Niki Thran, and I am honored to be here today to announce my candidacy for the United States Senate from the great state of Vermont. I would like to begin today by quoting Dr. Martin Luther King on the day before what would have been his 93rd birthday. Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. There are 3 pillars to our campaign. The first is healthcare, the second is equity, and the third is the environment. As most of you know, I'm an ER doc. I am not a politician. I love my job and I love emergency medicine. I think most of my friends and colleagues would tell you I'm passionate about it. But in my 30 years, I have seen a steady decline in our healthcare system. And now, under the weight of COVID, our healthcare system is failing. Why would I say that? It's simple. We have more sick folks than we have people to take care of them. This is a nationwide problem, but it is happening in our brave little state. In the ER, we are being flooded by patients. In community hospitals like mine, we have nowhere to send our critical patients, and we lack the personnel, the resources, and the equipment to care for them. For the first time in 30 years, I have witnessed hospitals like mine implementing emergency standards of care that determine who will live and who will die. As your senator, I will introduce a bill for national licensing of all healthcare professionals, including doctors and nurses, associate providers such as PAs and nurse practitioners, pharmacists, x-ray techs, and respiratory therapists. State reciprocity would allow us to send medical personnel to where they are needed most. Reciprocity is a fast and straightforward solution to the immediate shortage of healthcare providers. Now, since I am announcing my candidacy to be Senator Sanders, junior senator and the first female senator from Vermont, I have to stop and say a few words about Bernie. Senator Sanders is an iconic Vermont treasure. There was no one better I would choose to be my mentor. Senator Sanders has inspired me to run. Whether or not you agree with his politics, all Vermonters appreciate Bernie's authenticity, his practicality, and his character. I share Senator Sanders' commitment to transparency, accountability, and hard work. Like Bernie, I strongly support a national healthcare system. As a physician, I believe that everyone has the right to accessible and affordable healthcare. That is why I am committed to advancing healthcare reform that lowers the costs of healthcare, including prescription medications. A healthcare system that invests in rural communities and removes the barriers both to primary care as well as to specialties. We need to support primary care and preventative medicine. We need to support alternative healthcare choices, such as health coaches, acupuncture, massage, and other modalities that have traditionally not been reimbursed or available in the healthcare and hospital settings. I will rely on science to address the changes from this pandemic. I support free COVID testing and free immunizations and free health care grade masks for everyone. The United States is the only country in the developed world that does not have a national health care system. According to the US Census, an estimated 28 million Americans still lacked health insurance in 2020. That is almost 80 times the entire population of Vermont. That is unacceptable. In my view, the bottom line is that an uninsured person costs society less. The bottom line is that a person with health insurance costs less for society to take care of than a person who is uninsured. If you are a member of the BIPOC community, you are less likely to have health insurance and more likely to have a bad outcome. That is unfair, that is unjust, and that is un-American. Millions of Americans still struggle to pay medical bills and have to choose between prescriptions, food, heat, rent, and gas. No American should have to file bankruptcy because they are sick or they are injured. I pledge to fight alongside Senator Sanders against the greedy pharmaceutical companies and the health insurance companies that profit from those who are ill or injured. This is wrong, and I will fight to change it. The second pillar of my campaign is equity. I will push the government to invest in creative, viable solutions that promote a livable wage and job growth, that promote rural infrastructure development, and most importantly, racial, gender, and environmental equity. In addition to a national health care system, I will continue to fight for paid family leave and to support primary care and preventative health appropriately. According to the White House's website, President Biden's $1 trillion Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act will, over 5 years, provide Vermonters with $1.4 billion in funding. This money will be used to improve Vermont's roads and bridges, to mitigate climate change, to improve resilience, and promote equity, and make Vermont's cyclists and pedestrians safer. Additional funding is designed for sustainable transportation, including public transportation and EV charging stations. Funding will improve access to high-speed internet for all Vermonters. I pledge to work hard to make cell reception better for all Vermonters throughout our state. President Biden's sweeping legislation will also help strengthen us against cyber attacks, and money will be used to ensure that every Vermonter has safe, clean drinking water. I would personally like to thank our congressional delegation, especially Senator Leahy, for fighting for this extremely important legislation and for all his decades of service to Vermonters. Thank you, Senator Leahy, for all you've done. The third and final pillar of my campaign is the environment. As a lifelong environmentalist, I am committed to fighting for progressive policies that invest in renewable energy resources while protecting Vermont's public lands and water. I have worked for the Town of Hartford's Energy Commission. I founded my hospital's energy committee. I attend VCAN's annual conference, and I have learned a great deal. If you send me to Washington, I will promote local resiliency and sustainability. This includes supporting farmers and family-owned businesses and all the incredible entrepreneurs in our state. Because farms are such an integral fabric to our state, especially dairy farmers, I want to give them sustainable options for the future. These folks are my patients, and I hear their stories firsthand. We are lucky to live in a state with such beautiful forests, mountains, streams, and rivers. Folks have been hunting and fishing these lands long before they were skiing or riding here. I will promote tourism in Vermont that centers around our love of these outside activities, such as skiing and riding, hiking, snowmobiling, and hunting and fishing. We can encourage tourism in our state that protects our beautiful outdoors by instilling responsible practices and ensuring the sustainability of these passions that both Vermonters and out-of-staters love so much. I believe we can lead this nation by demonstrating our civility, our respect for one another, and demonstrate how we get along despite our differences. I am really looking forward to this campaign and to this new year. It will bring us many new challenges. If you join me now, I am confident we can overcome them together with civility and intelligence. I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for the support of many friends and family. First, I would like to thank my 3 children, my daughter Mandy, her partner Jono, who are watching from Sydney, Australia, where it is 4 a.m., my son TJ and his partner Emma, and my youngest daughter Bailey. I'd like to thank my 3 siblings and their families for their love and support. I would like to thank Lynn Bohai and Dottie Deans for their mentorship, the Windsor and the Washington County Democratic Committees, the Vermont Democratic Committee, Emerge Vermont, and the American College of Emergency Physicians. I would like to thank the thousands of patients who have entrusted me with their care and who have taught me so much. I would also like to thank the National Democratic Committee. I am so proud to be running as a Democrat. Meow, I'd like to share another quote from the great Martin Luther King. In some not too distant tomorrow, the radiant stars of love and brotherhood will shine over this great nation with all their scintillating beauty. I hope you have a healthy and happy new year. I can't wait to see you out on the campaign trail. Thank you so much.